All right, so the Brit Hadashah reading is Mark 14, 1 through 16. I'm going to go a little further, and I have a reason for that. But that is what technically what the reading is. And it starts off with, it says, "Now the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread was after 2 days. And the chief priests and the scribes were seeking how to take him through treachery and put him to death." So this was 2 days before his crucifixion. I think last week the Matthew 23 was also 2 days before. So a lot is happening this day. So here's what it is. He's looking for a place to do the Passover meal with his disciples is what he's looking for. And he goes on, and later on in, I guess around 3, a woman comes and has a bottle of perfume, breaks it open, puts it on his feet and his hair, and we see that Judas gets mad, and because he's a thief, and all he sees is how expensive the perfume is, and he wants to take it for the poor, although it's not for the poor. So
that's not
you
what he
could
wants
just
it for.
see how he is. Money has really taken control of him. And there's a lot about Judas that I wish we could go into about what his real intentions were, even joining the group, even, and, answering the call, but
a matter of the heart versus...
We'll do that another time.
Power.
But, so later on, he ends up going to the high priest, the priests, and tells, makes the deal. They make the deal with the devil because we know that the devil goes into him. But
that's right, we know that.
For silver. But what I really want to touch on, because this is what absolutely changed my life. A few years ago, I was at a conference. I want to talk about 18 and 19. I was at a conference, and someone stood up. I would say who, but I didn't ask them for permission to talk about this.
A very wise man.
Yes. He stood up, and he told the story about Judas, or about this particular incident. Being at the dinner, and Yeshua says, before the night is over, one of you will betray me. And he went on to say, I bet and they all looked at Judas and said, I bet it's you, and pointed fingers at him. And I remember sitting there thinking, I was very new. This was several years ago, 8, 9 years ago. And I thought, I don't remember that part of the story. And so he said, no, that's not what happened. They all went to him privately and said, is it me? Wow. That really struck me, because pride is what stands in the way of our eyes being open. It's what stands in the way of us knowing and understanding who he really is, what our purpose really is. It stands in the way of seeing truth. And when we can come to him and say, am I the one betraying you? Because if we're not representing him correctly, we are betraying him. So I remember that day I came before the Lord very humble and said, Lord, is it me? Am I the one betraying you? And wow, okay, what he showed me from that point until now, it just took me into an entirely different direction.
Yeah.
So I just really wanted to share that story because it was so life-changing for me. And I really think that if you're going to move forward with us, one of the things that you really do need to do is ask, is it me? Where do I have false doctrine? And listen, we may come back a year from now. This is what you're going to find with us. We'll say we've learned something, and then a year from now we'll go, okay, well, we're going to revise that, because the Lord is always showing, always teaching, always revealing. He's always showing us another level, and we may have thought we had it, and then he tweaks it a little bit, and then a little bit more, and a little bit more.
And it becomes a little clearer.
Yes. Because the picture is going to get clearer and clearer. Now I see a much bigger picture than I did a year ago, or 2 years ago, or 5 years ago, especially 8 years ago when I prayed this prayer. When I did pray this prayer, I was very active in the church. I was very, on the outside, I looked like I had it all together. I was exactly what he said. Look, you clean in the outside really, really good, but the inside's just, because I didn't know. I didn't know any better. The direction was just not there. The discipleship just wasn't, I just wasn't getting it. And it was me. I'm not blaming anyone else but me.
Yeah.
It's because I didn't realize.
Really easy to sit there and just go,
that the stumbling blocks were all around me, and I didn't move them out of the way. And he will move those out of your way.
Amen.
If you ask him, is it me? Am I betraying you? Is my belief betraying you? Is something that I've been taught betraying you? Am I teaching others to betray you? You know, Jesus says in Matthew 5, he says, those who do my commandments and teach others to do them will be greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And those who break them and teach others to break them will be least in the kingdom of heaven. And so many times we're teaching other people that it's okay to break what he says is not okay to do, because that's what we've been taught, and that's what they've been taught, and that's what our fathers were taught. And it goes all the way back to, you know, the 3rd century, and even beyond that, even into the 1st century when they started changing everything. And
First John 2 it's already there, very clear. First John 3.
Yes, he's already warning,
3,
watch out for the spirit of the Antichrist, you know, because you can believe in vain, and that's our goal. We do not want to believe in vain. So we want to assure you that we don't have all the answers, but we are on a journey, and we just really would like to share that journey. Yeah. We feel that God's calling us to share the journey. I don't know, maybe one person is going to watch it and be changed, and that's okay.
That's good.
That's good. That's fine.
We're not a numbers thing.
No,
but we're a love God thing, and this is a springboard. I'm not sure if I said that before. If so, just hear it again.
And you'll see
we're a good springboard. Take this, get curious, go out there, dig for yourself, because in the end, we're only accountable for one person, ourselves.
You're not going to stand there with your religion. I mean, we're not going to stand there with everybody else.
Or with somebody else, that's right.
We're going to stand there and be accountable. There's no other time in history that the truth is more available. It is not being hidden. It is not being hidden from any of us. So,
but we do have veils on our eyes that can be lifted. And I'll say this, adding what she said, they can be lifted if we're willing to say yes. Because like she said, man, it's hard. It is hard. You know, one story, and then I'll let her in.
Go ahead.
And that is this. I spoke with a young lady who just was, oh, this is great. And she got to the point, she's like, but if that's true, then everything I taught my kids was wrong. I said, yeah, that's okay. You know, I mean, I went back and retaught. She's like, I can't do that. I won't do that, because then that means I was wrong all along. And so that was it. Journey stopped. Yeah. That was it. And that's pride. That's pride to go, I cannot come to the point to say that what I had was wrong or twisted. Because, you know, Peter says that we take Paul's words and twist them to make them for what we are, or what we think they are.
All right, so 2 Peter 3, 14.
So 2 Peter 3:14
says, so then, beloved ones, looking forward to this, do your utmost to be found in him in peace, spotless and blameless, and reckon the patience of our master as deliverance, as also our beloved brother Paul wrote to you according to the wisdom given to him, as also in all his letters speaking in them concerning these matters, in which some are hard to understand, which those who are untaught and unstable twist to their own destruction, as they do also the other scriptures. You then, beloved ones, being forewarned, watch, lest you also fall from your own steadfastness, being led away with the delusion of the lawless.
And lawless means without Torah.
Without instructions.
Without instructions.
Okay.
And I was just going to say, earlier I said 2 Thessalonians, I meant 1 Thessalonians 5, 2 through 4 was about the thief. Just real quick, it says, for when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them, as the labor pains upon a pregnant woman, and they shall not escape. But you, brethren, are not in darkness, so that that day shall not overtake you as a thief. For you are all sons of light and sons of the day. We are not of the night, nor of the darkness. So then we should not sleep as they do, but we shall watch and be sober.
And if you look at the church of Sardis, that's what it says. If you don't wake up, I'll come to you as a thief.
Right.
So for us to say, well, we don't know because, you know, it'll be like a thief in the night. Well, it will be if you don't wake up. That's what the word says. We don't have all that figured out yet, of course, because we're not supposed to know. We're not supposed to predict the future. So we can't sit here and say it'll be, September 14th.
Yeah, no, we don't.
It could be. I don't know.
We don't
But
know.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
So
Just 'cause
anyway,
we said it. Anyway,
that's all I have.
yeah. And stop a second. Okay, right now. No, I was gonna say. Oh. And also,
Sorry.
I want you to notice that in Peter, where it said, in 2 Peter, it said that twisted the scripture. That would be Torah. And then it talks about lawless. Well, I mean, you can twist New Testament all you want to, because lawless, we were raised with, that's not the point. The point of the New Testament is that we're free. We are free, but we're free in the boundaries that Yeshua set as the living word for us. Again, we can't let the world define the definitions according to the Word of God. We have to let Him define them.
Go read Isaiah 56. It's my favorite
awesome.
chapter in the
It's a
Bible. That
great
will show
one.
you where my heart is. I want to be one of those people in Isaiah 56, not the eunuch.
No.
The other one.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
So that's it. Thanks for joining us here at Doc Talk at the Shepherd's Rest. If you have any comments, please feel free to add them. If you have anything that you'd like to ask us, send us a message. We would love to respond. That's
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks.
Shalom.
Shalom.